Alright, hopefully this looks familiar to you guys. This is the natural order of the modes, and we talked about that in the modal fluency course. And as we talked about it, we looked at the chords that are generated from each of the modes, right? So you've got the Ionian mode, and from the Ionian mode you have the major seventh chord. And remember, the chords, oftentimes chords are built in a skip sequence of every other note. So for example, a C major chord or the major chord, major triad, is every other note in the C major scale. Triad 3, C, E, G. It's built off the root, the third, the fifth. I'm giving you a little review here. So a major seventh chord is a tetrad, 4 notes, right? So we've got C, skip D, E, skip F, G, skip A, B. And that creates the seventh chord, right? Because it's built off the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. So from each mode, again, you have a chord that's inside the mode. And there's actually more chords than what I've got displayed, in every mode, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Okay, we're just going to focus in on this. So if we take each of these chords and we lay them out on the guitar, right, we have something like this. So this is from a triadic perspective, using the bar chords I'm sure you're all familiar with. So you got C major as your 1 chord, D minor, the 2, E minor we can call the 3 chord, F major the 4, G major the 5, A minor the 6, and B diminished the 7th. So if we had a progression like a 2-5-1, that would be like D minor to G major to C major. That would be our 2-5-1. If we're talking about seventh chords, so here we have these drop 2 chord voicings. Just a little special note, since I'm right here. If you're not familiar with drop 2, probably most of you are watching this video, but if you're not, you can take your bar chord and then take the octave, right, and then drop it down to the next diatonic note in the mode that it comes from. So we know that the C major scale, right, has a B in it. So if we drop C down to B, there we go. There's our C major 7, drop 2. And I'll give you another one. Like the Dorian mode, right? The note right before D, the octave note D, right, is C. So there's our D minor 7, the root, the 5th, the flat 7, and the flat 3. Okay, but I'm sure most of you people know this already. Okay, I'll put this back. Alright, so right here we've got the 7th chords, right? C major 7, D minor 7, the 2, E minor 7, the 3, and so forth. So let's say that we had a 3, right? A 3 chord, 6, right? A minor 7, 2, right? And then 5, okay, and then 1. That would be a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Now, so, how are these chord progressions generated in the sense of, why pick, 2, 5, 1 or 3, 6, 2, 5, 1? What about 1, 2, 3, 4? I mean, yeah, you can do that, but oftentimes the jazz standards, those old jazz standards from the 40s, they were written in a style where the chords oftentimes they would move in 4, if you will. Okay, now here's what I'm talking about. Watch this. So let's say that we were at the 5 chord, G7, the 5 chord, and we moved 4 in the harmonized chord scale. What do I mean by move 4? Like this. 1, we count that as 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 5-1 progression. 5 moving to 1. And it moved in a pattern of 4, a sequence of 4, if you will, every fourth chord. And that 5 to 1, a 5 to 1 is what you would call a cadence. In this case, that's an authentic cadence. There's different types of cadences, and you can go research that on YouTube, like what are all the different cadences, okay? So what about a 2-5-1, right? Now watch this. If we start on 2 and we move 4, right? So we count this as 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 5 chord. Okay, we move 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 1. Okay. What if we have a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1? Okay, if we're on the 3 and we move 4 degrees, we're at 6. If we move 4 degrees, we're at 2. If we move 4 degrees, we're at 5. If we move 4 degrees, we're back at 1. Okay? So I say that so that when we analyze this tune that we're going to be working out on, called All the Things You Are, you'll understand where the chord progression came from, as it were. You know, how it was made. Now, I'm not saying that every progression in jazz standards moves in degrees of 4, but oftentimes you'll see that. You know, most of the time you'll see that. There are other, you know, there's exceptions and things, but most of the time that's what you're going to see. So let's open up All the Things You Are. I'm going to open it up here on Band in a Box, and I'm going to show you how to analyze that chord progression.